here I am. uh, Good evening, boys and girls. Mostly boys tonight. Well, anyway, I don't know if I'm even gonna get anybody in here to discuss metal detecting, but that's what this one's all about. This is supposed to be a metal detecting uh, discussion. I just crawled out of one that's on Zoom on Wednesday nights, but they usually stop at 8 o'clock and then they pick back up at 10, so I put mine in the middle. So we will see if any of those people come over here or not. If you saw the little warning label on the thing saying no foul language or off color stories, it's because of the guys that are in that group. Sometimes the best way I can describe them is too foul to be funny. It's the boys club. And anyway, so do any of you, oh, I see a message there from Handy Andy. Only 2,110 more miles to go. Where is it coming from, Handy Andy? California? Sweet tea. House wine of the South. Yep. So, any of you, oh, I see a message. I gotta fix my YouTube. Only 2,100. I gotta turn this off. There we go. I actually had something else open here. I had Zoom open. And so, anyway, please let me know if you can hear me, see me, all of those appropriate things. I see Kellen L with his lurky eyes and Handy Andy, and that's about it. I didn't really think that I was, oh, Scott Jarvie. Hi, Scott. I didn't really anticipate that I was going to get a whole lot of metal detecting people right off the bat, and part of that is my own fault. My channel started out as a metal detecting channel, but then when the COVID thing started, I moved my focus over to my coin collecting because I couldn't go detecting. Then when it was finally reasonably safe for me to go detecting, as long as I wasn't around anybody, I got sick. And those of you who have been with me on my channel for a while know I was really sick there for a while, and I'm still not totally up to par. And I got to have surgery in July, or maybe that's going to get postponed because I'm going to be moving. So that may get postponed until I get up to Virginia, where I will have some family members around to help me out after the surgery. But anyway, in the course of that switch, where I switched from detecting to coin collecting, I kind of alienated some of my detecting people, and I'm going to try to rectify that, because some of them are also coin people. Like I was in Big Flip's channel, and all of a sudden here comes Florida Thunder Digging with Rob, who is a guy down in Florida that I've actually metal detected with before. So he kind of did the same thing. He started doing a little bit of, he was doing hunting $50 rolls on his most current video. So anyway, what I ended up doing was kind of alienating my detecting people. And so I wasn't sure if any of them would show up over here or not, but I thought I'd give it a try. I got this one crazy thing I got to figure out. My metal detector is actually, in my opinion, it is the best detector in the financial group that it's in. I have a Nocta Macro Simplex Plus, which retails for right around 250 bucks. It's a little over 300 if you get the wireless headphones, the Bluetooth headphones, which I did. I don't like headphones, but if I got to wear them, I don't want to be wrapping the cord around my hair and all of that crap. I have pretty long hair, and I used to, when I had my Garrett headphones, I would have them tied up in my hair, and then I would rip my hair out, pull my glasses off. It just didn't work well for me. But this particular detector is in the same price range with the Garrett Ace series, and I had an Ace 300. 2 weeks after I got the Simplex, I sold that Garrett Ace 300. Just, this machine was so much better, had so many better options, and the best one of all, because I live in South Georgia, right near the Florida border, where in the summer we either have no rain or rain just falls out of nowhere. You won't even be supposed to have rain that day, and all of a sudden you'll be in the middle of a monsoon. Well, the Garrett was not waterproof. The coil was waterproof, but if you're out in the middle of a field and it starts pouring rain on you and your detector is not waterproof, there's a good chance you're going to ruin the electronics of it. So the one I have now is fully waterproof, and I've had it out in rainstorms. I dropped it in the Gulf of Mexico. It has survived all those things. So I'm pretty happy with my investment. I see Storm and CA. Hi, baby. How are you? What's cooking tonight, Stormin'? Oh, yeah. Handy Andy. Yeah, Rob is a pretty cool guy. The chat that I said I came from that was a little X-rated, that's him and some of his buddies. And I had to go over there because we have, I'm going to release a video tomorrow that it's probably going to be controversial, and it's either going to completely kill me in the metal detecting community, or a lot of people are going to say thank you for coming out and letting people know about this. Because I had an incident with another detectorist I went detecting with back in March. Guy used to be a good friend of mine. I mean, he was. And I defended him to a lot of people. But when the COVID-19 thing shut the beaches down in Florida, and he had to start detecting parks and other things, because this is how the guy made his living, was from detecting. He kind of went, I don't know if you call it cabin fever or wackadoodle, but he went on his stream one morning and just went on this tirade of things that some of it was political, some of it was religious, but it was just, it didn't even make any sense. It was like he was had sunstroke or something. I mean, he wasn't even making sense. And he started sending me some pretty nasty things after that. So I held on to this video of us metal detecting together for like over 2 months, trying to decide what to do with it. You know, I could have edited him out, but everybody knew that I went detecting with him. So what I did basically is I presented the video in its entirety, just the way it was. And then at the end explained why I don't detect with this guy anymore. And, people can make their own decision. If they like his channel and his content, I'm not telling them not to go there. I'm just telling people why I'm tired of answering the question, what happened between you and this other person. So I'm going to release this video tomorrow, and I'm probably going to take some flack, but it'll be off my shoulders. It'll be done. It's the last video from my trip in early March. And I just want it out there, done. Scott, you've got a 600. Are you detecting beaches or dirt? Just out of curiosity, because one of my very favorite guys to watch on the YouTube also has an Equinox 600, a guy named Robert Ferguson, who detects the beaches in California. He's pretty laid back dude. He's not trying to sell stuff. You know, some of the videos almost seem fake to me. You know, they're showing you, oh, I found 17 gold rings and some Spanish doubloons. And I'm like, dude, I go out just about every day. And the area that you're in, that doesn't even make sense. Why would there be a Spanish doubloon where you live? You know, and it's like, oh, buy my merch, buy my shirts, buy this. And I'm like, dude, I just want to see what the settings on the machine are. I want to see how, you know, what you're finding, what numbers your machine is giving you, how your machine functions. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a bunch of hype. Schools, Scott, where I live, I am very, very limited to what I can hunt. It's over an hour and a half to a beach. Otherwise, I would probably be doing more beaches. But we don't even, my county is very sparsely populated. There's only 15,000 people in the entire county. You know, my town has about 3,600 people in it. And there's some great places here that I would love to detect, but they're not safe for a female by themselves to go to. I just would not feel safe going to them. There's one old school that I didn't even know was there that I just found about 3 weeks ago, and I'm dying to detect this place. A quarter of a mile from me, there's an old fairgrounds right next to a VFW that I'd like to go to. And I may do that one because it's on a main road. So, you know, I may break down and do that. Hi, Jimmy. Thank you. But this town would be a great place. If I was a guy, I'd be door knocking all over this town to detect these houses, because a lot of them are Victorian houses. You think Storm and CA has your house bugged? Stormin, are you messing with our honeybee? You don't mess with the honeybee. She'll sting you. She will. Andrew Cooper, thank you so much. I know it's very late over in the UK. I thank you so much for popping in. So anyway, there's places that could be detected here if it was safe for me to go by myself, because it's not safe for me to go to them by myself. I do a lot of schools. And there's a town about 15 miles from me. They have a couple of little parks that I have picked over and picked over and picked over. But I found 2 gold rings in one of them on the same day. So that was pretty cool. I found 2 gold rings on the same day. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. The maintenance guy for that little town was setting up the park for a Martin Luther King Day celebration. And as part of that, they moved some bleachers that were next to a basketball court. And I just happened to be there when they moved them. And the guy told me, he said, you better hit it now, because on Tuesday I'll be putting those back. This was on Friday afternoon, and it was so hot, and I was just about ready to leave, but I'm like, I'm not leaving. This guy has just moved those metal bleachers out of my way. And I think I found, I'm going to say $3 or $4 worth of change under there. And then I found 2 gold rings. One of them was missing a stone. I think it was a mother's ring. It was 10 karat. Beautiful ring, though. And The next signal I dug, about a foot away from it, I found a lady's gold signet ring. So, and I did go back early that Tuesday morning to see if I could find anything else where those bleachers were. And I pulled some more change out and a little praying hands medallion, but it was just gold plated. It wasn't gold. But I did clean that out pretty well before they put those bleachers back. Unfortunately, a lot of the places that I detect have been closed. I go to Florida. I'm only 10 miles from the Florida border, so I go to Florida, to the county south of me, and they locked down all of their parks. I could not detect there, and I'm going to say 7 or 8 of my places are down there, including a really cool little freshwater beach. So they still haven't updated their website, so I don't know if they have opened those parks back up yet. I just keep getting the same recording. It's a real small county too, and I don't think they have anybody in the office. So tomorrow I've got to go to the doctor over in Valdosta, Georgia. And while I'm over there, I'm going to have some tires put on my car so that I can drive to some places to try to find some areas that are away from the population, but that I can detect. I'm high risk for COVID, so I try very hard to stay far, far away from people. Yeah, Kellen, where were you when you were down here? Because I lived here then. Were you anywhere near Valdosta? I live about 20 miles from Valdosta. Once I get some tires, I'm thinking about taking a little trip over to Jacksonville Beach or St. Augustine area. I can get there in about an hour and a half. So I could feasibly do a day trip on that. But with the tires that are on my car right now, I don't even want to drive to Valdosta. But yeah, I'm a mess. I'm not very tidy today. Hi, Linda Wallace. Who else did I miss? Oh, Scott, where in New Jersey are you? I've only been to Jersey a couple times. I remember the New Jersey Turnpike. That's about all I remember. And this god awful landfill that about gagged me for about 100 miles. It was not good. It was in August, and it reeked pretty bad. But anyway, it doesn't look like I'm going to get too many of my detecting people, but we can talk about anything we want as long as we're not nasty to anybody. I'm real excited. Andy, can I tell people what is going on with what is 2,200 miles away? Oh, yeah. Ocala. I have friends in Ocala. Kellen, I actually have a metal detecting permit to detect in the city of Ocala, and also one to detect in Marion County, because those areas both require that you have a permit. And that's a crazy thing about metal detecting in Florida, especially. Florida has so many rules and so many strange regulations about where you can detect, where you can't detect. It's kind of crazy. I'm actually I'm quite a ways from South Carolina. When I went to my sister's last year, I stopped at the Georgia-South Carolina border. No, I have been to both of those places, but not with a metal detector. I am moving in either August or September. God. I don't know what's going on here, but see this crack in the door right here, down just below camera level. All of a sudden, this little paw came through and started swatting me. My cat is launching an attack here. Em, what are you doing, buddy? He's attacking me. Anyway, I have this. This is how ridiculous Florida is. This is my packet of permits. This one allows me to detect in Polk County, Florida. This one allows me to detect in Marion County, Florida. This one allows me to detect in the city of Ocala. This one, okay, that's the copy of Polk County. This is my Orange County permit, which I actually like because it has a list of all the different parks that I'm allowed to detect in and not detect in. Pinellas County, technically you're not supposed to detect there, but everybody does, and apparently they don't care. So next time I go down there, and I have detected there without a permit, although I didn't know I was not supposed to. This is my favorite permit. I'll probably never use it, but I got it. This is a New York City metal detecting permit. I was supposed to go up there for an event in April that got canceled because of the COVID-19 thing. So, but I have my permit in case I make it to New York. But I am moving in either August or September to Virginia. I have lived there before. My sister has a lovely piece of property on Lake County's pretty nasty, Kellen. You're right about that. Anyway, my sister has a farm right off the Blue Ridge Parkway in the southwest corner of the state of Virginia. It's up in the mountains. And I lived there once before for a while when I was living in my motorhome. And when this COVID thing started and my health started doing weird things, I decided that I need to be somewhere closer to family members and somewhere where it's not so blinking hot. So I've decided I'm going to move back up there. I got a whole bunch of places up there that I can detect. Scott in Florida, and I'm pretty sure Georgia also. The state parks are off limits. The exception in Florida is if there is a beach in the state park, you can detect the beach part, but not the rest of the park. The rest of Florida is crazy. One of the things I find very interesting is Calico Detecting, which is the largest metal detecting distributor in the world. They don't make detectors, but they are a distributor of detectors. They're in Seminole County, Florida, where you're not allowed to metal detect. So that county's off limits. You can go to Orange County, Florida, which is where Orlando is, and you can detect in Orange County in most of the parks, but do not make the mistake of straying over the line and getting into the city of Orlando, because they, without a doubt, are the nastiest people. I actually know people who had their equipment confiscated by the Orlando Police Department. So you've got to be really, this thing's not focused. Anyway, you got to be really, really careful when you're in Orange County, Florida, that you don't accidentally get over into the Orlando city limits. The rest of the county you can detect, but you cannot go into. In fact, I should have printed that out. I have an email from a lady that I actually helped vote into office when I lived in Orlando, that said to me that if I wanted to film a metal detecting video for my YouTube channel at a little park in Orlando, that I would have to pay them $3,000 to process a production permit, and then I would have to pay an additional fee to some professional something union. And I'm like, honey, for a YouTube video? Are you kidding me? So that's my hometown. I was raised in Orlando, so I just find it fascinating that I can't metal detect there, because I know where I lost a lot of things I'd kind of like to go back and look for, but yeah, it's very, very confusing in Florida. Probably, like I said, one of the worst things there. And I think it was Kellen that mentioned Lake County. You can't metal detect in Lake County. They'll round you up. They'll take you over to the jail over there at Tavares and throw you in with the rapists and the murderers and all of that mess. So you got to just really be careful in Florida where you detect. And yet there are other places that just don't seem to care at all. Hi, Nick. Like, I was down there. I was with I went detecting with the Weedy Boys. If you want to see some interesting metal detecting, go watch the Weedy Boys. But we were in Osceola County, and unfortunately the place that we went had already been hit several times, so we didn't really find a whole bunch of stuff. But we were detecting at this old historic courthouse there. Nobody said a word. Cops drove by, they waved at us. If I did that here in the town I live in, I'm dying to, because we have a historic courthouse that was built pre-Civil War. Got a little park around it. I am dying to go down there and metal detect. And I wish, I can't find another metal detectorist in this entire county. I know there is one somewhere in this county. How do I know? Because this guy is a pig, and he does not fill the holes he digs. And he leaves all of his trash sitting there, so I know these holes were not dug by squirrels looking for nuts. Squirrels don't line up their pull tabs and their nails and stuff on the picnic table and leave the holes open like that. So I know there's somebody around here that detects, but I've never, in almost 2 years that I've been here, have I ever seen anyone else metal detecting in this whole county. In fact, I haven't seen anybody in the county south of me down in Florida. I have never, ever found another detectorist down there. Don't know why. I find some pretty good stuff down there, but anyway, can't go there. So, Nick, are they still over there chattering, or do they still break up at 8 o'clock? I don't know what they do anymore. I don't go to that group that much. Only if I have some news. And I wanted to forewarn everyone about that video that I'm releasing tomorrow. So that was why I went over there. And I had already discussed it with Rob. Actually, Andy, I truly thought about taking like a really crappy coin out of my collection. Just one that is burnt, and putting it in a little plastic bag with a note. Dear jerk, here's a coin for you. Fill your damn holes. Pardon my language. I know I'm not supposed to be cussing, but I know that there's no kids in here right now, unless Nick thinks he qualifies. Okay, see, they used to quit over there at 8 o'clock, Nick, for something. They used to watch Survivor or something, but anyway, I don't know. The reason I started this chat was not to run over Pat, but because, frankly, it gets a little foul in there, and I would like to see people be able to discuss metal detecting without having to, put up with some of the stuff that goes in there. I personally sometimes find it offensive. I mean, I know several of those guys. I mean, know them personally. And I know they don't talk that way to their wives and girlfriends. So why do they think it's okay when I'm in there or some other ladies are in there? It just, I mean, I like those guys, but sometimes it just gets too foul. And I started thinking, like, I know that the Detecting Smiths go in there. Well, they have a very family-oriented channel with kids. And hi, Rebel Digger. So, they have kids that detect. And I would hate to think that their dad's sitting there watching, participating in that chat and have the kids wander into the room with some of this stuff that's said. So I'm shooting for something a little bit different over here. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't. But what I'm shooting for is more of a discussion of what equipment people use. Yeah, Nick, it does get crazy. You have to like yell over each other to, and like I was trying to tell something to Pat, and there was so much stuff going on that Rob actually had to stop him and say, Pat, did you hear what she told you? So anyway, what I want to do in here is more of maybe a beginners, not even necessarily beginners, but people that are interested and don't know how. Debbie, I will email you about that. I'm actually an affiliate for Kellyco, and I don't know what what is your price range? And I don't know what you consider to be inexpensive. Do you want to buy like just a really, really basic $100 detector? They're okay. They will find metal, but you got to dig every single thing. And that can kind of be a pain in the butt. But my detector is a really, really nice detector. It costs around $250. It's waterproof. I mean, you can take this thing anywhere. And but there are cheaper ones than that. But if you want to seriously go out and look on your 3 acres and find all the coins, I mean, there are some real low-end beginner ones, and I'll email you because I have your email, and I'll send you some links where you can look at different ones. Somewhere I have a link to a video that is actually about the best of the low-end beginner machines. Because if you buy one of these $49 things, you're going to end up just digging up a bunch of junk, and you're not going to be happy, and you're going to think, oh, well, I don't like this. And so you end up paying $150 for that. And I have one, and I still take it out. There's a video on my channel here where I'm hunting with a bounty hunter. Now that is a $100 machine that I think my sister paid $49 for. That might be a place for you to start if you really just want to stay in the really low buck. Oh my goodness. Child left it outside. No, that's not good. Yeah, Nick, and people in Hades want ice water too. But I can find you a $200 detector, Nick, if you really want one. I know better because I know Nick actually is a detectorist. As a matter of fact, I inherited a detector when I was down in Florida. My brother gave me his equipment. My brother's disabled and he's quite a bit older than me. At the time he purchased his machine, it was a pretty good machine, but mine is light years ahead of it. I have not figured out how to use this machine yet, but I'm going to do some videos on it. And I looked it up on eBay, and these are selling on eBay for about $100. It's actually made by Bounty Hunter, but back then it was branded for Calico specifically. And let me see if I can do this. It is the Titan 3000 XD, which I have only used once. I am going to go through this and I'm going to do everything from the beginning to the end. I'm going to do the air tests with the dime and the quarter and the nails and the pull tabs. But this seems to be a pretty decent unit. I'm going to try it out. And if it does turn out to be a decent unit, it might be something for you to look at, Debbie, because like I said, I've seen them on the internet selling for around $100. When my brother bought it, it was like $400. It was pretty expensive then, but anyway, my brother gave me all of his metal detecting equipment when I was in Florida, and so I got that. It's going to be my next thing to go out and play with. Okay, got a Mine Lab E-Track to find gold instead of pull tabs. Didn't work out. Still, pull tabs are coming in the gold range, and in Germany, the beaches are loaded with pull tabs. Werner, that is not just in Germany. That is everywhere. And here's what I don't understand. I understand finding the old ones, the beaver tail style, but the new pull tabs are intended to stay attached to the can. You're not supposed to take them off. You're not supposed to take them off the can. They were designed to stay on the can so we wouldn't have them all over the ground. And people pull them off. And yeah, no, I'm looking at less expensive ones than that, Debbie. I'll send you some links, and then you can go and read about them and compare them. Yeah, the whole world is covered in pull tabs. I'm actually working on a piece of art. I've started making art out of my detecting finds, and because they're being made out of detecting finds, I have a lot of half-finished art pieces. My favorite one is one called Nailed It, and it has all kinds of nails. It's got aluminum nails, it's got roofing nails, some really elaborate roofing nails, it's got square nails. It's just a whole montage of nails. But I'm also doing one with pull tabs. I have a bunch. Yeah, that's one of the machines that I'm going to send her the link on to look at, is the Bounty Hunter tracker. My first detector I said it was a bounty hunter gold digger. I still have it. I keep that detector because at least before COVID, when I would be out detecting, little kids would come up and they're like, ooh, I want to do that. I want to do that. So I would keep that in my car and I'd get it out and I'd let the kids detect with it. And when I move up to Virginia, my niece has kids that range in age from 18 to 7. So I'm keeping that one for them to use. My sister gave it to me, and now I'm going to end up taking it back there for her grandchildren to use. Yeah, Hunter GT. I have gone on his channel. That's a very good one, Debbie Honeybee. He does a lot of reviews of different machines and how they work and what their price range are. And you're not, for what you want to do, you don't need to buy a $900 machine. I mean, if you're going to be a serious detector and go all over the place, maybe so, but you just want to search around your property and maybe, some people that and look for coins. You don't have to spend that much money to do that. Mine, like I said, the main reason I had a Garrett Ace 300 after the bounty hunter, and I liked it, but where the problem was I would be out in the middle of a field, and it would start pouring rain. The thing wasn't waterproof, and down here it rains in the late summer, early fall. It rains every day, and the sun will be shining and it'll start pouring rain. So for that reason, and because I wanted to go to beaches and there are some streams and rivers on my sister's property, I decided I wanted a machine that was waterproof, because more than once I got stuck out in the middle of a field and it was pouring rain, and I had the Garrett shoved up under my shirt, and I'm like running like this trying to keep it dry, and I didn't want that headache. So that's when I spent a little over $300, including the wireless headphones, for the Nocta Macro Simplex Plus, and I have absolutely had a great time with this machine. And like I said, I found, since I got this machine, which was, I bought it for myself for my birthday. So I got it the end of February, middle to the end of February. And I already found 3 gold rings, and I don't go every day. I went a lot in February and March, the first part of March, and then I got pretty much shut down, except there's a local school yard that I can go to, and I have picked and picked and picked over that place, and I'm still finding stuff. I found an absolutely gorgeous ring, and I love the headphones that came with the Simplex. I do not like the headphones that came with my Garrett. They were uncomfortable. I kept getting the wires tangled in my hair. I really like the Nocta green wireless headset. But in the video I'm going to release tomorrow, you will see I still have problems with the headphones. There's a portion of the video where I'm just walking along, all of a sudden, zoom, there goes my headphones. It came right off my head, flying. But I really, for what you want to do, Deb, I think we can find you something that's reasonable, and we'll do what you need to do without you having to dig every single thing. The thing with the bounty hunter gold digger, it doesn't have any numbering system per se. It just has a little gauge. And I had to dig everything to find anything. And I didn't really care for that. So that was when I bought the Ace 300, which frankly, after owning the Simplex, I feel like the Ace was overpriced. I'm a big fan of this Nocta machine, but there are plenty of machines that you can get that will do what you need to do and still give you a range of numbers and stuff rather than just a gauge. So like I said, I'll send you. Yeah, see, I don't like that just a needle thing. It bounced so much, the needle bounced so much all the time that it was useless. So you basically just had to dig everything. But do I still use that detector? Yes, I still use that Bounty Hunter Gold Digger. I found my very first gold ring with that Bounty Hunter. $49 detector. So, I mean, it'll find the stuff. It's just that you end up having to dig so much extraneous things to get to where you want to go. I'm hoping that this, I got to learn how to use this because my nephew is probably, I'm going to end up teaching him how to use that. I'm real funny with headphones, Deb, and part of it is a safety thing, and part of it is because my ears ring all the time. When I wear my headphones, I have the one on my right side, I have my ear fully covered. The one on my left side, because I have some hearing loss in it, I wear that one only half over my ear because it makes my ears ring. And even if I turn things down, I don't like something that completely covers my ears. And another reason I don't is a safety reason. There's a video on my channel that I think I filmed in January or February about the boogeyman. And basically I was in a little roadside park and a guy came rolling up behind me. Now, if I had had my headphones fully on, I would not have heard this guy. And because I didn't, I realized that he had pulled in behind me, and he just sat there, and it was creepy. So I just took my stuff and I went and I put it in my car and I locked my car door. And I left that park and I came back by a half an hour later. He was gone. So he was not there for anything other than to sneak up on me. And that's another reason I don't wear my headphones over both ears. I for safety reasons, want to be able to hear what's going on around me. And I have taught myself to distinguish the tones. If I don't have to wear headphones, I don't. Truthfully, people get on my case about it, but that's true. Trying to read what Warner said here. Problem with Nocta in the U.S. is that Turkey is such a cheap country. That's how Nocta blasts your companies out of the way. The Simplex is more expensive in Germany, and Germany and Turkey are almost neighbors. We have millions of Turkey people here. Yeah, I have watched some videos of people using the Simplex from Germany, and of course, my German is extremely limited. Every once in a while, I'll pick out a word that I know. My great-grandmother used to write me letters in German, and I took German in high school, but other than a few words, I have forgotten it all. Debbie, if you live somewhere where you have the option of renting a machine, that might be a good idea. But before I did that, I would I would recommend that you go through the ones that I send and going to send you the video links and stuff for, and see which ones you think would be in your price range and which ones have the features that you want. And then out of those, maybe rent, see if you could rent those for a day or so. And that would help you make your overall decision. My Garrett Ace 300 and my Nocta Simplex, they weigh exactly the same, but the distribution of the weight is different. And one of the things that I noticed was that it was that weight distribution difference took some of the strain off my hand. And I kept that Ace for a couple of weeks, and I would switch back and forth and back and forth. And I detected with both of them. And then I dragged my my Bounty Hunter out there and detected with it too, because it's really lightweight. So that's a consideration that doesn't have a whole lot to do with the actual workings of the machine. But if you're going to carry it around for 2-3 hours a day, and it's not comfortable in your hand, like I'm sorry, I don't like the weird curve that they have in the Garrett. It ended up making me hold my hand in a really funny way, and it was putting a lot of weight on my wrist, which I have arthritis really bad. It wasn't a good deal. The Ace 300 and the Simplex both weigh under 3 pounds. I think it's 2.8, something like that. Let me look. I happen to have this bag here, and it's got a Simplex catalog in it. I got this when I was down in Florida. In fact, I can send you this, send you one of these, or at least some of the pages out of it. But I'm going to find the page for the Simplex Series 5, because it should list the weight in here, but I know it's under 3 pounds. Okay. I have to put my other glasses on. I have to get the old lady bifocals out here. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we... And the other thing that I liked about the Simplex is that you can really adjust the length of it, of the shaft. It's a 2-part shaft, and it's very easy to shorten that. And you don't have to keep buying batteries for it either. That's another thing. It has oh, my brain's not working. Lithium icon. Yeah. Anyway, the lithium batteries, you just plug it in to charge it. It should have the weight in here somewhere. 2.9 pounds. So just a little under 3 pounds. And that's the same weight for the Garrett Ace 300. So yeah, I will send you some info in a day or two. I want to make sure I have all the links that I want to send you, but it's under 3 pounds. I have found that the Simplex, for me personally, isn't as awkward as the Ace. The Ace has kind of a big control box that's kind of like this shape, where the Simplex has a little flat box that's only about that thick, and it just doesn't, I just feel more comfortable swinging it. But yeah, it's not, the machines are not that heavy. The older ones are, but that's one thing with the improvement in all of the electronics and everything. The machines are pretty lightweight. And if you have like the Mind Lab Equinox, those guys get these uh, my brain just went blank. The carbon shafts that weigh even less and take more weight off of them. So, but yeah, the weight of it is not much. I'm more comfortable swinging the detector than I am carrying in a gallon of milk and a bag of cat litter. So, anyway, yeah, I'll send you some info, Debbie, and we'll see if we can find something that, or at least hope you get it down to 2 or 3 of them so that you can make a decision. Carbon fiber. Thank you, Nick. I had the carbon part, but the rest of my brain is like, yeah, carbon fiber. Thank you. But yeah, there's a company called Detect Ed that makes those carbon fiber shafts for the mine lab, and my buddy Robert has one. He loves it. They just did a software update, Warner, on the Simplex, and some people had a little bit of problem with it, with getting used to it, because it did increase a lot of the sensitivity. It also gave it a completely new park setting. We had a park setting before. Now we have Park 1 and Park 2. Park 1 is, you kind of have to move a little bit slower with it, but it goes a lot deeper. I went back out to the school that I pretty much have picked over and went back out there with the machine after I did the upgrade, and I was finding things that I know were there before and I just missed them. You know, I was digging up, you know, I found a buffalo nickel, I found a little angel, I found a bunch of quarters that were way down. I'm talking like 10 inches down. And I know that the machine, yeah, they just released another one. And it's because I got in trouble for saying this in a Simplex forum, but it's because a lot of people couldn't, I just feel like they didn't give the upgrade enough time to get used to it. They want to put it back the way it was. They don't like the extra sensitivity. They don't like the extra depth because it's picking up too much junk for them. And truthfully, I think it's just that they're too lazy to learn how to set their machine up. You know, that probably doesn't make me real popular with people, but I had a terrible time with the upgrade. But once I got it set up, it's great. But so what that one that came out on the 2nd does is basically, it actually is taking some of the sensitivity away, because people complained, oh, I'm getting too much noise. They don't want to turn the sensitivity down. They don't want to switch to a different mode. They're just, I don't know. But what I have decided I'm going to do with that update is I'm going to download the update. Hi, Cynthia. Here comes another Simplex owner. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download that update, but I'm not going to install it yet, because I haven't really had enough detecting time because of the lockdown to really experiment with the last upgrade. So I'm not gonna put this thing on there until I decide whether or not I like the current update. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, the extra sensitivity, I found so much stuff that I know that same machine overlooked before. Telephone guy. Ring, ring, ring. How you doing? Glad to see you in here. This is we're mostly talking detectors with coin people, and that's okay. Um, that's part of kind of what I wanted to do. Is I run into people all the time in the coin channels who say, "Oh, I have a detector and I don't know how to use it," or well, see, I agree with him, Nick. I'm not installing it either. I'm going to download it, but I'm not going to install it unless there's some compelling reason, like when they come out with the new coils, if they say you have to have it, then I'll have it available. But in general, I think I'm going to leave well enough alone right now and continue to use it the way I have it set up. And then if I really think that it's an issue, then I'll go back. But I think a lot of people there were so many changes in the update that it threw a lot of people off. Yeah, Cynthia, in a way, I felt that way too. If you're happy with your machine like it is, why mess with it? In hindsight, I kind of wish that I hadn't done it, but since I did, I'm using that as a learning experience. I'm filming some videos. I have some that were done right before I did the upgrade and right after I did the upgrade, and the absolute horror that I went through when it was making so much noise it sounded like a machine gun. We had to figure it all out. I had to get with the Nocta rep, and so now I finally got it where I think it's good, but I haven't got enough time with it to know for sure that this is the way I want to leave the machine. Right now, I went out, I guess it was Saturday morning, and I left the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. By 9 o'clock, it was in the 80s and like 90% humidity, and I had to just give it up. By the time I got home, it was pushing 90 degrees. So I really haven't, because of the weather, I have not had a chance to really, really get out there a whole lot since I did the upgrade. So I'm kind of with the idea of downloading it, having it available, but like the 100 GT, I don't think I'm going to install it. I don't see a need to. Like I said, if it turns out later when they come out with they're supposed to be coming out with some new coils that will fit the simplex, and when that happens, if they say you have to have that version for those coils to work properly, then I have it and I can install it. But otherwise, I don't think so. I'll be right back. I want to grab something real quick, just to show Debbie something. This, my dear, is clad. This is not my good coins. This is not the silver dime or the buffalo or anything. This is just coins that I have pulled out of the ground since February. I know that for a fact, because I've been kind of keeping a running tally, that there's over $50 in this jar. I have not looked at these coins yet. I intend to, though, because like the reason these are all in a bag is those are all coppers. But you know, it's just last year with the bounty hunter and the ace, I only found, I think, 40 something dollars for the whole year. And I actually had better places to hunt. But right now in this jar, not counting the things that got removed because they had value elsewhere. You know, I have a book that I'm actually making a penny book of nothing but detected coins. So they're pretty nasty looking. Right now I have $52.18 in this jar. My goal is to find enough money this year to pay for my detective. I don't know how much the new coils are going to be for the simplex. I haven't really, I've been kind of looking on some of the forums, and I really haven't seen any discussion of price range on them. If they put them like $89 or something, they're just going to totally kill Garrett. They're going to kill, because the Ace series, you really don't have a lot of options for coils. The fact that they're going to give us something different. Oh, and the other thing about this machine, I got to tell you, when I inherited this machine, I also got the little sniper coil that goes with it, the Titan coil. So I get to play with that too. But slap a Budweiser tab on eBay and listed as vintage. There you go, Deb. There you go. Believe me, I got some stuff that I could put up there and pull that stunt with. Watch out, cat. This is just a jar I keep inside my door because sometimes I don't always have a fines pouch on me, and I'll start sticking things in my pockets. So let's just see what's in this jar here. Tent steak. Oh, this might be more fun to do this. I'll just dump this thing out and see what I've got in here. Yes, I actually found a phone cord and it works. This is some of the stuff that I've pulled out of my pockets when I came home. I don't even know what this is. If anybody knows what that is, I'd like to know what that is. Some kind of cable. A giant nail. Giant nail for my project. And I got a jewel. I discovered that they're magnetic. Little tiny belt, a little tiny buckle, probably off a shoe. I'm going to guess this came off of a flashlight. A piece of thing that says air. A little hair clip. Some of these are fines. They don't actually have any metal on them. Little doll. A screw. Some magnetic beads. This had a little zipper pull thing on it, so I picked it up. And a lighter. This was one of the great mystery pieces. This was found in Tarpon Springs, Florida. We don't know what this is. Some kind of valve or something to a piece of machinery. But truthfully, when I dug it up, this was all that was sticking out of the ground. I thought it was a pipe, a pot pipe. But no, it's some type of a valve or something. Of course, you get your 9,323 bottle caps, keys. This is my favorite belt buckle. I'll tell you why. There's a guy named Shane. He's his channel is See It My Way 1, but he's also known as the Blind Detectorist. And he issued a challenge to us not too long ago to go blindfolded, find your target and dig it up and identify it. Well, in the course of this was my target. And in the course of doing this, I have a nice healthy appreciation for Shane, who is legally blind, because when I was doing this, I stabbed myself in the foot with my digging tool. But I was able to identify it, fortunately, because a belt buckle is pretty easy. So that was my find on the challenge. A phone cable that actually works. Like I said, these are things that didn't get into my pouch for whatever reason. Some kind of metal clip, another thing off of a jewel, some beads. I was trying to figure out what this is. I am clueless. Some kind of an emblem or something. Part of a pull tab. A pretty old button there. I got that down in Florida. Yeah, the thing about the Hoover Boys, I watch the Hoover Boys. I do. But I want to know where they detect, because they always find stuff that nobody else seems to be finding. And either they're the luckiest SOBs in town, or they've really got some good places to hunt, and I want to get over there with them. Let me see what else I got. A zipper pull, an earbud, a shoe, a carabiner, more screws. This is actually in one of my videos. This tricked me. It was sticking out of the ground, only like just that much. And I thought I had a ring, and I was so excited. And then I dug it up, and it was a piece of junk. More pull tabs, zipper pull, screws. Little piece of ribbon with some metal things on it. A bunch of different buttons. This one, when I first found it, I thought it was a planchet from a coin, but it's not. It's just a button. A bent key. And, oh, this is one of my favorites. This is my Donald Duck pirate pin. I found this down in Florida. And I actually was detecting with somebody who had worked at Disney, and he informed me that this is a limited edition pin. So that's kind of cool. There's a bug in here. It's driving me crazy. A little gnat or something. Ah, there's the metal detecting channel from the other side of the pond. Okay, I got some eraser. I dig a lot of eraser heads. I got a little charm here that says friends, and it's got a little dolphin on it. And, you know, just stuff. These are not the good finds. These are the... I had to laugh at this. I live in a really poor county, and I'm out in the little elementary schoolyard, and there must be somebody there that likes to dress their kid up, because this is a zipper pull off of a Juicy Couture sweatshirt, and those things are pretty expensive. I got a little kitty, little bling blings, a really crusty earring. You know, I mean, this is the reality of detecting. It's not all like the Hoover Boys, where, you know, or some of these guys. There's one guy down in Florida. He claims he has found 70 gold rings at this one beach. And the only problem with that is there's a ring finders group down there, and they've never even had a call. They find hundreds of rings for people every year. They've never had a call for that beach. So it kind of makes you wonder how this guy found all these rings there when nobody's ever reported one missing. Well, there's a couple earrings and bling blings in there. More keys, a spoon, a lot of eraser heads. I find a lot of eraser heads, hair clips. But then I have found, you know, really nice rings, and I wish I could get into my ring box right now, but I didn't think to get it out. But if you go look at my videos, you'll see some. Oh, looks like a quarter. Rang up like a quarter. Thought it was a quarter. It's not. It's a slug. It's just a slug. Oh, yeah, Cynthia, we're not going to call him out by name in here, but I'm calling him out by name tomorrow when I release my video. So you'll want to make sure to see that one because you know who I'm talking about. This is kind of a neat thing. I was talking about nails earlier. I don't know if it'll focus on this, but this is an Art Deco roofing nail. So a couple earrings. This is just my general jar of things I haven't really gone through yet. There's a couple things here. I found these at different locations. This one, it's just gold plate. It's pretty though. Praying hands. And the other one is just a little thing with a K in it. I have a very emotional video about that, but I've had people find these in non-schoolyard areas and think that they were pieces of jewelry, and in actuality that's just the thing that goes around an eraser. Part of another buckle, a chain that's obviously not silver, just a bunch of these things. Drove me crazy. I found 3 or 4 of these and I could not figure out what they were. And this is all caked in here. And what I finally figured out after I found the fourth one still had the contents in it. They were out of a makeup thing, like an eyeshadow palette or something. That's why I kept finding them. I guess somebody's eyeshadow palette ended up on the ground and the lawnmower mowed it down. But see, that stuff, that's the reality right there. Unfortunately, when you watch a lot of these channels, all you see is, oh, we found a 1790s coin, or we found a Spanish real, or, you know, and yes, people do find those things, but the reality is you're not going to find that every day. All right, Nick, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, it's a quota. Right. But anyway, in reality, it's a whole lot of this junk and not a whole lot of the showy things that you see on the channels. And I made a vow when I first started detecting, when I first started making videos of my detecting, that I was going to show everything. I was going to show the beautiful things that I found, and I was going to show the junk that I found. I don't believe in only showing the gold rings and only showing the collectible coins, because I think it's misleading. I truly think it's misleading. People get the idea, they're watching this video and they don't stop and think that 4 hours of digging trash has been cut out of this, and all you're actually watching is a half an hour of the best stuff. So it looks like that all they found was the good stuff. And that's just not the way it is. You know, I have a relative that thought that was how it worked. That she was just going to go out and swing that thing over her yard and come up with a diamond ring or come up with an old coin, because that's what she saw in the videos. And so I try to stick with, okay, I went today, I dug 4 quarters, 3 dimes, 2 nickels, a bunch of zinc pennies that are all chewed up and the bank won't even take them, 2 or 3 copper pennies, a little kid's ring, a buckle, and about 900 pull tabs and pieces of bottles and, pieces of bottle caps and, exactly, Andy. It's a lot like coin hunting. A lot of it is just junk. But the thing that I've noticed different between the coin hunting people and the metal detecting people, because I travel in both worlds, is in the coin hunting, they actually go through and show you how many $50 they had to go through to find the 1 silver, or how many pennies, how many rolls of pennies they went through to find 10 Wheaties. Where the metal detecting channels, they kind of only show you the glamour stuff. There's a few that show you everything, and I like those a lot. Nugget Noggin used to show everything. Now he only shows the good stuff most of the time. My favorite beach metal detecting guy in the States, Robert Ferguson. And I'm thinking I might have picked this show everything thing up from Robert. Robert's kind of a no frills guy. He doesn't do a lot of fancy graphics. He doesn't try to sell things. When he comes home from the dig, he just lays it all out on a table. The junk, the sand, the coins, if he's lucky, a ring. But you see him digging the junk. You see him weeding through all of that mess. So once you've watched that video, and he'll usually say, well, I was down there for 3 hours, or I was down there however long. And I like his videos for that reason. They're honest about, yeah, I like Merrill. Merrill doesn't like me anymore. Merrill's been mad at me for some time, but I still watch his stuff. It's his choice not to speak to me. I used to be one of his moderators, but he and another guy, I did something, went out of my way and did something with Kelly Co. detectors to get some things donated to the kids at the school Merrill works at. And he went on there and gave somebody else completely different all the credit for it. And I was mad. My feelings were hurt, but I was mad because I spent weeks and weeks on that. And I kind of said some things that I can't roll back the clock, but I basically chewed Merrill out, and he paid me back by blocking me from his channel. So I can watch his videos, but I can't, if I post in there, you can't see that I'm there. So I'm just ghosting. And the other thing he did that it hurts my feelings, but it's not so much that it hurts my feelings, it's that it skews the results. And that is, he does that thing where he tracks the popularity of metal detecting channels, the top 1,000. If you remove somebody's channel from the list, then your list is no longer credible. I mean, if you remove it because the channel doesn't exist anymore, that's one thing. But if you remove it because you're mad at somebody, then your list isn't honest anymore. Because in actuality, based on the statistics, I would be on that list. There are channels that I know I have more view time. I have more viewers. They're people I know, so we compare notes. and they're on that list. And we know that if I have 100 more view hours and 50 more subscriptions a month, and I have 150 more subscriptions to them, and they're at 800 and whatever on that list, that I should be above them on that list. I'm not on that list at all. And yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I know some of those channels are not active anymore, but once you remove an active channel, you have messed up your statistics. Your statistics aren't honest then. And I wouldn't care if it was me or you or the Weedy Boys or whoever. If you pull a channel out of that list that is qualified to be on the list based on the analytics, then your list is not valid anymore. I know he's mad at me, and I'm sorry he's mad at me, and I probably shouldn't have said a couple of the things that I did, but it was a very hurtful situation. That being said, if you know, by taking that to a point where he removed me from the list, he has messed up his statistics. You can't act like I'm not here and have your list be honest. You know, I mean, I don't have a huge channel, but I have a channel that has grown quite a bit in a very short period of time. Andy, I'm not going to spend my time. I'm not a numbers person. I don't like math. Merrill likes number crunching. That's his gig. And I think that the list is a great idea. I think there's some channels on there that shouldn't be there because they may have 5% of their content is metal detecting now, where they may have started out as a metal detecting channel, but then they went into a travel and scuba diving and fishing and all these other things where the primary focus, you know, less than 25% of their content is metal detecting. But I don't want to crunch numbers, Andy. I'd rather be out metal detecting than crunching numbers. But I liked that list until I realized, well, if he's taken me off the list, who else isn't on that list? So, you know, he knows that my channel's here. That was the other thing. He had promised to help me with my channel. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have started it. And then that deal happened, and yeah, it was just bad. So, yeah, I would too. The metal detecting channel, you have a very good point. I would like to see the channels that have uploaded videos on the topic of metal detecting within the last month. One of the ones that bothers me tremendously because he's number one on the list, and I don't think he should be, is Jake with D Almighty. Yeah, he's got 10 million subscribers. How often do you actually see Jake doing any metal detecting? Hey, Yankee down south. You know, you watch his channel, and there's very, very little metal detecting involved in that channel. So to say that he has the number one metal detecting channel in the United States, I don't agree with that. His content doesn't hold up. You know, he's out mining for amethysts and spearfishing and surfing, and very little of it is metal detecting. So yeah, I'm with you. I would like to see a list where it's actually at least 50% of your channel is metal detecting content. Yeah, you're going to do other things. Like I love digging with Deej. She doesn't always go metal detecting. Sometimes she's out digging a bottle dump or something. But there's well over half of her content is metal detecting. So I think that list is skewed. I wish it weren't. And I have found some really good channels by looking at that list. But I don't think, is it accurate? No, probably not. Yeah, Deej does rock. I love that lady. I really do. And I'm supposed to be going back up to Michigan probably in September. And I'm going to try to do a little detecting with Miss Deej. I really, I like her stuff. And she lives close to where I used to live in Michigan. So yeah, I'm definitely, and I like that she takes the time to find the history of the items. She doesn't just say, oh, well, I found this, these pieces of this crock. You know, she'll say, okay, I found these pieces of this crock, and these particular kind of crocks were made in such and such a time period. And then she'll sit there and she'll labor trying to rebuild the crock from the pieces that she found. While that's not metal detecting, more than half of her channel is. And I would love a list like that, because there's so many channels on that list that Meryl has that I went and looked and at some of them. I started working my way down at one time just to go look at some of the channels, just to see what other people were doing. And some of them weren't even there, or they were there, but they had not uploaded anything in 3 years, or what they had uploaded didn't have anything to do with metal detecting. I mean, even in my channel where the last month or so, couple months, I've been doing coins, I still threw a couple metal detecting videos in when I could. But, and I just put one up a few days ago. I'm going to put another one up tomorrow. But if you look at the overall number of uploaded videos to my channel, I'm going to say well over 50% of it is metal detecting. So we'll just leave it at that. But it is a good list for finding interesting channels to look at. But I don't believe that the rankings are accurate by any sense of the word. And like I said, if you intentionally leave somebody off of a list because you don't like them, Yankee down south, Florida, 7 should be the weekend of February 9th. Make sure you join the page. Is that the page on Facebook? Yeah, I will be living in Virginia by then, but I absolutely would come down for that. And I won't actually be too far away from the Clark's Cove bunch. They're in West Virginia, and they're not that far from the part of Virginia that I'm moving to. So, yeah, I would definitely be interested in that. I missed Florida Hunt 6, and I'm still mad because I saw the videos and everybody was having so much fun and finding great stuff. And so, okay, so it's on Facebook. So, there's a little piece of information for any of you that are into detecting. Florida Hunt is this huge thing that our buddy here, Yankee Down South Adventures, puts together. And it's like you have acres and acres and acres and acres of places to search. Metal detecting channel, yeah, I guess it over there on the other side of the pond, it probably is pretty late. I really thank you for taking time to come in and join us for a little bit. This is the first time I did this. I just wanted to see if anybody would even be interested in it. And we were able to, I was able to help Debbie Honeybee a little bit. And we're going to try to get her set up with another detector and that doesn't break the bank for her. We got a little information on Florida Hunt 7. If you're interested in going to that event, he has a Facebook page for Florida Hunt 7. You need to get over there and join the page, and that's where all the information about the event will be posted. And that's going to be a real awesome thing. I watched several videos from several different people that were at Florida Hunt 6, and there were some pretty amazing finds that were happening. Well, hello, Mr. Kitty. That's my other detector. He detects it's time for Mom to give him some treats. So anyway, the other thing that I was hoping to do with this is, not just helping. I've seen a lot of coin people that said they're interested in detecting, but they don't really know how to get in. So that's one thing I want to do. Another thing I would like to do is to kind of keep it real about, it's not a pile of gold every time you go out. Some of these channels with the big production crews and all that, they make it look so easy. And truth be told, it's dirty and nasty and hard work. But then when you find something, you appreciate it a whole lot more. I was practically crying one day. I was at this school that I detected a bunch of times, and I was having a little emotional issue about my friend having passed away. And I was getting ready to go home. I was like, not having any, I had found some things and then I wasn't finding anything anymore. And I'm like, I'm just going home. I'm so discouraged. And I just made this little offhanded remark, to my deceased friend. And I'm like, hey, Tommy, man, why don't you help me out here? Help me find something here. I'm really getting discouraged. And I got this really jumpy signal. And first I thought it was just a pull tab. And then as I started digging it a little, it sort of seemed like, well, no, this might be a nickel. So I kept digging it. And it's about 8.5 inches down. And I pulled out a 14 karat gold crucifix ring. And I just sat there on the ground and bawled like a baby because I hadn't found anything good for weeks. So, I think when you find all the good stuff every day, maybe you don't get to appreciate the hunt. But vintage tab is going to be... Andy's going to bid on it. Okay, then. All righty. Do you think maybe we should package it with my my vintage tent stake here? Give them a package deal. Yeah, vintage tent stake to go with it. Hold that tab into place. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Debbie, and I'm going to send Debbie some info on some detectors that she might be able to get into her budget, and we're going to get her set up somehow here. I might be able to get maybe a small discount code from Kellyco. Once in a while I can do that for somebody. I don't know. It just depends on their mood down at Kellyco, but we'll see. But we're going to try to get her going with something, because she's got 3 acres that she can go hunt for coins and stuff. So we're going to get her out there. She's over in South Carolina. All right. Yankee Down South Adventures. Thanks for coming in and letting us know about that, about the Florida Hunt 7 page. That's on Facebook, folks. So you need to go and search Facebook for Florida Hunt 7 and get signed up on that page. And that way you'll get all the details as he gets them. Thanks again. We really appreciate you coming in and give us that info. That's some good info to have. And these big hunts like that can be a whole lot of fun. And this, to my knowledge, is not a seeded hunt. I mean, I think they have some little things maybe that are, but this is just you go out there and you find what you find. And if you look on YouTube for videos that come up under Florida Hunt 6, and there are a bunch, you will see some of the stuff the people found down there, and you'll see the piece of property they were detecting on. It's a pretty amazing place. Well, anybody have anything they want to throw at me that I probably can't answer? I was going to do a giveaway, but I really didn't. I got sidetracked today and I didn't have a chance to get my giveaway organized. So I'm probably going to do one next week, and it will be a metal detecting giveaway. Oh, I got something else I can talk about here real quick before we go. These are kind of some metal detecting hacks because I'm poor and I try to take care of what I have. Now, any of you that are metal detectorists and you use a pinpointer, one of the things that happens, probably the number one thing that happens to pinpointers, is you get out there and you start digging around in the dirt with them, and you wear through the end of your pinpointer, and then it doesn't work anymore. Well, for about $10, you can buy a little package. Now, these fit on the Garrett one, but they have them for other as well. You can buy a package for about $10 of these covers for the tip of your pinpointer to keep you from wearing a hole through the end of your pinpointer and extend the life of your pinpointer. Now, I happen to have the Garrett Pro Pointer, the all-terrain waterproof one, and it's like a $125 piece of equipment. So when I first realized I was starting to wear a little bit on the end of it, I'm like, oh no, we can't have that. So it now wears one of these, and they sent me an extra lanyard, which I hate lanyards on my pinpointer, but so that's a $10 investment that will keep you from destroying a $125 piece of equipment. So then I have this little item that came from either Lowe's or Home Depot. I have a GoPro 3 that was donated to my channel. And then I have another one that I was able to pick up really cheap. The problem is, the second one, I didn't have any, I don't know what's going on with Debbie, but she's lost it. Anyway, I didn't have a case for my second GoPro, which meant dirt and all this crap was getting on the lens and fingerprints. And Ambient Girl, hi. So it was $2 and change, I bought these little, they're tips, rubber tips to cover the legs of a chair, and they just happen to fit absolutely perfectly over the lens on my GoPro. So instead of buying an expensive lens covering for the GoPro, I spent $2 and change, and I have several of them. So if I drop one out in the field, not a big deal. It will protect your camera from damage. All right. Very important. Another cheapy thing. I think I paid $5 or $6 for this packet of 10. These are universal LCD screen protectors. You can cut them to fit whatever screen you need. I happened to notice one day I had gotten a scratch on the screen to my Simplex. And I went, oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to mess up this machine. So I bought a whole pack of these. I cut one to fit over my display on my Simplex. I've got enough probably to outlive the life of the Simplex for $6. Yeah, you two mods, stop being mean now. Don't make me come up there. Y'all quit. You're being silly. Okay, so the last little thing that I bought, this is also for my GoPro. The GoPro that was given to me had the extra display screen, little touch screen that goes on the back of it, so you can actually see what the camera is doing and filming and stuff. But when you have that on there, it won't fit in the standard GoPro housing. So I got a little pack of these clear coverings that cover that piece of the back piece of the camera to keep it from getting scratched and damaged. And that was another thing that was under $10. So, you know, if you're going to invest money, even if you don't have a high-end machine, if you're going to invest money in your equipment, some of these little $5 and $10 things can really extend the life of your stuff. Oh, and I happen to find a Detectors Warehouse sticker in there, so that's got to go on the sticker board. So those are some little ideas for, yeah, you better give that phone some Prozac, and you take a handful too, Deb. If you need some, I used to be a card-carrying member of the Prozac for Lunch Bunch. I'll send you some. Virtually. I'm not really going to send you some. That would not be nice. But anyway, so those are some little things that come in really handy. And then in my little folder, I do keep a little folder with all my permits in it, because I just put this in my car when I'm going, and that way I've got my permits in case I end up somewhere where I have to have one. This is something you can make for your own detector. And I would actually, if I made this, I'd be putting a blank thing on the back where I could put the VDI numbers. But like Simplex comes with a quick start guide that just real quick explains everything. If you get a new machine, make yourself a little drawing, something like that, and label what everything is. So when you get out there in the field, you're like, oh gosh, I don't remember what button I'm supposed to push to ground balance. Do you know how many times I turned my Simplex off? Because I would go to ground balance and I'd get it over onto the ground balance, but then instead of hitting the button that I needed to be hitting, I would hit the on off and turn the machine off, and I have to start the whole process over again. So make yourself a cheat sheet. Nobody's going to mind. That's how you learn your machine. So I think at this point, I got a bunch of people in here that have lost their little minds. I can't wait till Debbie gets out in the field, starts looking for coins with her metal detector. If I think she's lost her mind now, wait till she finds a piece of silver out there in the dirt. Oh, I wondered where you were, Cynthia, because I was over in the Grumpy Old Man's Club earlier, and Do you want me to tell them what I'm getting in the mail, Handy Andy? I'll be happy to tell them. I'm real excited about it because I need it desperately. So, since Andy opened the door on this, a while back, I spent some money and I bought a microscope that plugs into the computer so that I could show, I could have a second window open up here and show you the things under the microscope. And when it arrived, the box was all smushed and the microscope did not work. Well, it was right at the beginning of all the COVID mess, and the people would not answer me. The people at eBay weren't answering the phone, and so on and so forth. So I ended up eating a pile of money, and they wouldn't give me a refund. So I ended up with a broken microscope, and my eyesight's pretty bad, so I needed one. And so there is one headed to the channel. So we will actually be able to see the goods all close up and personal. When we find something good, we can put it under the scope and everybody can take a look. Another thing that I did finally get, these were paid for by a Patreon sponsor of mine. I got, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of blurry on the camera. I figured that would happen. Let's see if I can do it this way. I got channel stickers. There we go. It's got Susie Q96, metal detecting and coin collecting. And my little metal detector has piles of coins laying around it. So I got these now. I'm real happy to have those. I was going to order some before I got sick. And then when I got sick, I didn't know what was going to happen. So I canceled the order. I was going to order the 3-inch ones, and these are the smaller stickers. These are 2-inch, but something really cool about them, they fit into the little coin envelopes perfectly. So I'm kind of glad now that I have the smaller sticker. So anyway, I got channel stickers. Ambient Girl, what you been finding? You still here, or did these people scare you off? They so crazy in here. I don't know. I think she might have left town. I wouldn't blame her. This place has gone a little mad. Yeah, thanks, Debbie. I actually came up with the design, but I didn't know how to do the artwork. So I got somebody else to actually do my artwork because I wanted the detector in the picture to look like the detector that I use. And I wasn't getting it right. So I also have 2 other designs that are not round that I probably, when these run out, I'll switch to one of those for a while. But I really kind of like, and I'm not even a pink girl, but I kind of like the fact that they're pink. And just a statement. Yeah, it's a girl channel. A while back, there was a really cool video that Digging with Deej did where she featured in her video nothing but women detectorists. And she would show that detectorist and a little clip of them and what their channel was, and she had like 25 or 30 different ladies in there. And I went to almost every one of those channels and watched those ladies out there detecting. I just thought that was a really, really cool thing. And I hope she does another one soon. Thanks, Deb. Yeah, I like the pink and black together. it doesn't always show up real well in my lighting, but I like it. And I was kind of tickled today. I'm a moderator on Penny Dog's channel, and I had sent her a pair of earrings that came from my jewelry channel that a couple of guys bid back and forth on it, and they finally decided, okay, we want to send them to Penny Dog because they were little earrings with dog bones on them. So we sent those over to Penny Dog, and of course I had found some dog stickers I sent her, and then I had put my channel sticker in. So today, I don't know if you watch Penny Dog, you know that every week she puts a sticker on her left glove, and she says, you know, the left hand is sponsored by Handy Andy 736, whoever sticker it is. So today, my sticker was there. So I was the sponsor of the left hand in Penny Dog's channel today. It showed up really good on her channel. She had on black gloves, so it looks really cool. But I think it's about quarter till, and I think I am gonna. Oh, there's Gina. Hi, Gina R. I was just getting ready to kind of wrap this up because I'm actually hungry. I've been in this chat and another one since about 7 o'clock, and it's almost 10, and I'm hungry. And I have to get up tomorrow and go to the spine surgeon and have him take a look at my back. And then I'm probably going to argue with him because they keep wanting to do surgery on me. And since I'm moving in 3 months, no, that's not going to happen. Any surgeries that I have will take place after I've moved so that I have family available to help me out if need be, which with the back surgery, I'm pretty sure I would have to have somebody help me out. So I think with all of that, I'm going to go fix something to eat, and then I'm going to run over to Facebook and get signed up on the Florida Hunt 7 info site before I forget to do it and miss Florida Hunt 7 like I did Florida Hunt 6. I'm glad you got it, Gina. I've been trying to keep track of, you know, and make sure everybody got their stuff. The other thing, and I got to put the video out about this tomorrow. Sunday on my other channel, I have a jewelry channel. I'm not going to do an auction this Sunday. I'm just going to do a straight up sale of some jewelry items. There won't be any bidding. I'll just put it up there, and this is the price. If you want to buy it, you can buy it. I'm only going to do about 10 items. I have sat down and done the math on how much money it's going to cost me to move, and I got to figure out a way to earn that money. So I'm going to do that on, let me type the name of my channel in here, my other channel. Oops, it would help if I spelled it right. Okay. So, this is the name of my other channel. I probably could get you a link, but I'm afraid to get out of here for fear I'll lose it. But anyway, Sunday from probably about 1 to 2, I'm just going to go on and offer a few items for sale. And it's not going to be a long and involved thing. It's not going to be an auction. It's just going to be, you know, I have this design, you know, it's $4 plus shipping or whatever, $10 plus shipping. I have X number of them. Usually that number is 1 because all of my stuff is handmade. But anyway, I'm going to go. I got to get something to eat. So I appreciate every one of you stopping in, especially the coin hunting people. I really didn't expect any of them other than Handy Andy to show up. Andy's my loyal and faithful moderator, and he shows up every time. So thank you to all of my moderators. I think I only have 2 in here tonight. But at any rate, I'm going to run get something to eat. I hope that some of the information in here was helpful to you. And I'll probably do it again next week, only maybe not for 2 hours, maybe just an hour or so. But we'll see. I'm happy that Cynthia made it in, and happy that all of you came. Y'all be good. Wash your hands. Don't bully anybody. Be nice. Peace. Good night, everybody.